Alright, we gotta return to Monster Chain temporarily here. Like I said, I'm only really gonna do Curse Seeds as I see them, because I don't really have much interest in the game otherwise. As a result, I'm pretty rusty, so hopefully this one isn't too much of a nightmare. I mean, honestly, it looks like it could be. The comments on this one were that it was the lowest score they'd ever beat Divinity with, and sure enough, those are very low scores to beat Divinity with, and these are really good players too, so usually what that means is that they were taking a ton of pyre damage. We probably have to skip trials. We probably, definitely no flying kills. It's normally a combo I suppose I don't mind. Queen, if you can get space extension particularly, it's good, but also just the, you can get some consumable return stuff. There's double access to multi-strike. Well, there's triple access to it, really, with the Horned Warrior Infusion, but you have 2 rare spells that also give it. Plus, you get the Trample. There's a lot of scaling with the Rage, so you gotta miss on quite a lot for this to be bad, but I've certainly missed on it all before, so we'll see what it has in store for us. Also, like Queen's, or Shardtail Queen, if you can't get, like, the Imperialist plus Imp Parade combo, and you don't ever find any imps, is kind of a useless champ. So we'll see if there's any of that going on too. The bosses don't look horrible. Starting cards, we get a good one from Umbra, but the others are pretty bad. I mean, Hidden Passage just isn't good with Queen, in my opinion. There's also just not a huge reason to overstack in this combo, but I don't know. It's still like okay. I would have much rather had a lot of other Hellhorn commons, and Battering Ram is just by far the worst uncommon we could see here. But at least we have a Space Prism, so there's that. 2 of them. Imperialists, there's, if they ever made morsels allow Rally, you could actually maybe argue Rally there, but Imperialist is just so much snap pick there. Well, these suck. Fuck. What's worse? Pick your poison. I mean, these are literally the 2 worst artifacts in the game, potentially. Not even, like, exaggerating. Like, if I had my pick for the 2 worst, these would probably be them. I probably lean toward Infused Mallet, because at least it has a breakpoint that kills something if it happens to 25% of the time hit that thing. It also could just hit a collector that we might not otherwise be able to get. Yeah, the Tea of the Gold just is a joke, though. Probably just take Infused Mallet. I think I would take this. I mean, Imperialist is a very strong start. I've generally said it. I mean, these are really bad starter cards, though, for Ring 1, but I think I take this. I mean, we've already got the 2 worst artifacts out of the way. How could it go worse, right? Alright, these are alright. Alright, they're actually pretty good. Yeah, I can see where this seed might be going with only 1 Hellhorn banner on the map. With only 1 Hellhorn banner, I'm probably shying away from Railhammer, honestly. Railhammer and Chain of Gems are completely defensive focused, but Chain of Gems just, for one, it's the only one out of 3 that currently does anything for me Ring 1, and considering how weak my deck is, it definitely gets a nod there. And Railhammer only really is going to shine with a Steelworker, which we only have 1 Hellhorn banner on the map. So, we do have hidden passages though. But the thing about Chain of Gems, I already have Space Extension. I have Shade Splitters and Imps. We may end up with the Endless Imp or an Imp Parade at some point. There's just so much value I can get from this Chain of Gems, and it defensively, I think, just eclipses the Railhammer. In the context of what it is right now. Obviously, a steel hammer high roll would be a great, but I think given the weak state of our deck right now, and a pretty potentially useless artifact, I think we take a chain. It also just opens up morsels in general. You get really good chump blocking minimum, that's the floor of it. But we also have an Imperialist, so the downside that it potentially brings of, you know, basically making your endless imp not die is just not there. And Capricious, you know, I've been playing a lot of games lately, Auto Battlers, Slay the Spire and stuff, where you lean toward the expected value more than taking the floor into account. But I think with Monster Train, you want to take the floor more into account, especially on a Curse Seed or a Win Streak, because every Monster Train seed is theoretically winnable, and going for expected value plays isn't always necessarily correct. Like, certainly I think the expected value of Capricious, if I were to just guess, is probably higher than these other three. But you just have to consider that, like, it can really fuck you over. Say I do find an imp that I want, but it just adds a large stone to it. That's already a massive downgrade. You basically downgraded your pip. You're essentially, you kind of took a Bass downgrade at that point. Similarly, like, you know, an Alpha Eater is a good thing we might want to go for in this combo. And if I get like a large stone on a Shadow Eater or Burnout, on any banner unit, there's always a chance for Burnout. It you know, just fucks them up. Or even like a unit like a Horned Warrior, really can't afford to waste a slot. And a Horned Warrior is probably a big unit we're looking for here. And it needs health, and it needs like quick or another multi, really. It can settle for large stone too, but the thing is, if I get like plus 10 damage, if I get rage, if I get some other weird bullshit, it kind of makes the unit almost untakeable. So I think it's Chain of Gems. And yeah. Alright, unit draft is great. That boss is not great. And these are gonna be tough. But it's a unit draft, there's just no fucking way we don't take this. We have to with only one Hellhorn banner on the map. Okay, good first showing from Infused Mallet. I think I don't care about the Ember Drain. I mean, I definitely don't care about the Ember Drain, so let's just get the chain here. It's like spending 1 future mana for 2 damage shield. I'll take that, plus we replenish it anyway here. I could split these two up. It's definitely not the worst idea in the world. I mean, I can almost certainly get something to chump block this next turn. If it's a Shade Splitter or a Imp. We don't necessarily need to double up the value here. I think this makes sense. Okay. Okay, you're fucking fired, Mallet. You had 5 targets here and you didn't hit 1. That's, you know, you may have had an okay first wave, but this is just Infused Mallet in a goddamn nutshell here. Absolutely fucking useless. I think we just want to chain top with a Shade Splitter. 7. I could just do this here. God, we really would like to double up these though, because this guy needs to get taken out. I think we just double this. We have to take that clergyman out. I'm gonna chain here, because then I can survive both those hits and kill another. And then I can put this guy up top. I will get Ember Drain, but I want to save these for the boss. You know, I've used basically all the other imps. I really need to hold some in hand. And this guy, he'll Ember Drain me, but it doesn't really matter given what's coming up. And even worst case scenario, we just let him die. In fact, we probably want to let him die. Ooh, nice. Infused Melon did something. How amazing of you. Let's put the chain here. I could also just do it down here, kill one of these, and eat a stack of lifesteal. That's actually better. And I do want to let this guy die, I think. Same story, I think. Do we put him back here or up here? If I put him up here, he eats 2. We just do that. Alright, still has a stack of lifesteal. This boss is real fucking balanced, let me tell you. Let's put you up first. And that. Oh, it kills. Okay, that's wild that that breakpoint changed it, but I'll take it. I guess that was the 1 health I needed. I think I got fucking rubber morsels every time, right? Maybe we got 1 damage one. Alright, we'll take the Welder Helper. I'm pretty sure. I mean, it opens up Endless at this Merchant of Steel, and definitely with an Imperialist Queen, a Welder Helper Endless is actually pretty good, right? It accomplishes what these would want to do, but much better. It gives me armor area. I could put it in front a lot of the time, jump block. Pick your poison, right? This one's maybe not as obvious. It's probably Mind Collapse, honestly. It's a little redundant, though. Does open up like plus 10 Pierce or plus 30. Has pretty good upgrades. I mean, so far, though, like, I'm obviously not going to hit this Merchant Magic up. Even if I find a good unit here at this draft, I'd be inclined to go the Steel here. And we didn't see a Ritual, so I'm especially not inclined to go to that magic. This magic is just opposite Vortex and Hellvent. I mean, the Umbra Banner is useless, but maybe not. Maybe we don't. Let's say we never find a good unit, and this Hellhorn Banner is an Alpha Fiend. Maybe we're fine that it maybe could be a Shadow Eater. But long story short, I highly doubt we're hitting that Merchant of Magic. So, we got Temple. This magic is hittable. This magic is probably not hittable, considering what it's up against, and this one's definitely not hittable. So it's like, yeah, I guess there's a lot of temples. What is that, 5 temples? Probably just take the Collapse. We're just not hitting many Merchant of Magic, so like plus 10 is not there. We can also take the Pack Morsels. We have Shade Splitters already, so like Morsels are already alright, but it's possible this is better. I think we take the Mind Collapse, though. It's just too good. Shadow Eater, not too bad in this combo, but well, we're past this unit draft, and with only 1 Hellhorn Banner there, we just don't know. Like, to YOLO that into a don't know what I'm trying to say here. To YOLO this into an Alpha Eater chance seems bad. I mean, none of these seem great, but like the Branded Warrior technically opens up some stuff. I mean, there's always the Molting shenanigans. It probably opens up Multi-Strike more than Shadow Eater here, because currently only Endless is open here. You know, if we get an Alloy, Multi's... Basically everything's open if we get an Alloy here, but Currently only Endless is open. Shadow Eater is like, I guess I would add a multi to it, but I don't currently gain hardly any benefit from that with only Shade Splitters, right? But a Brand of Warrior definitely opens up multi. I think nothing really is good with Quick, though I probably would slap it on a Brand of Warrior. At 150 gold, I can't really afford to reroll for Endless, for instance. Obviously, if I see Endless, I already have a great thing with Welder Helper. And then Large Stone, honestly, I would probably settle for a Large Stone on the Brand of Warrior. Ring 2 can be rough with Queen, because 1 out of 3 times it's Sweet Boss, and that kind of is just a rough Queen ring. Shadow Eater right now just doesn't really stand on its own. So I think we just take the Brand of Warrior. And this, yeah, it gives us a possible way to, you know, scale in the future. Alright, I mean, well, there we see it. We see multi-strike. Definitely already feeling better than Shadow Eater would, right? Granted, we'd love to see a multi-strike and Shadow Eater if we do find Alpha Fiend. Intrinsic and Spell Chain. You'd love to put that on a Space Prism, both of them, but this early, that'd be like, what, 45 shards? It's a little tough. Multi-health damage. Okay. We could take the Shadow Eater now, just to open up Alpha Eater. Doesn't seem horrible. It's not like I need to get Brand of Warrior down turn 1. The Shadow Eater might just help clear some AoE. And it, like I said, just kind of opens up. You can also go Brand of Warrior into Shadow Eater. I don't love it. You know, it's a lot harder to get slays than strikes, but it's not out of the question if the seed ends up sucking. Really was hoping for an alloy, probably, because I could just run, you know, you usually want to self-infuse the alloy. And maybe I would, but honestly I could also just run Branded Warrior into it with Shade Splitters. I can feel just fine. But yeah, I think I'll take the Shadow Eater. Speculatively, it's worth picking here. Wouldn't put the multi on it, I don't think, though. I already have the multi 25 health here, which actually makes Branded Warrior just kind of usable here throughout the whole game, potentially. And I know I'm probably going to intrinsic this. I just don't think I spell chain it as well. I mean, I'm at 25. That would put me to 40 shards. That's a little bit fucked. I think considering we have a follow-up Space Prism, we just don't need the spell chain here. Another unit draft. Hopefully it's better this time. Well, the armor 10 here is rough. Even double gorging a Shadow Eater would not kill these guys in the back. And even Imp won't. But what are you gonna do? It's a unit draft. I have a lot of pyre health, so... Oh god, the worst fucking possible scenario. I feel like I have to Shard Tail at the bottom here. I just wonder, do I put the Branded Warrior here too? How much damage is he doing right now? So we would Welder Helper in front. I mean, it still doesn't kill everything. Is it even worth doing that? So that'd be 10, 11, 10, 21. Yeah, there's no way that slays. Fuck me, man. Let's just get you a damage shield. I'm gonna give you the armor too, I think. I'm looking ahead of the boss right now. This is the only thing that really makes sense to me. I'm going to try to get a slay here as well. Alright, that's a good hit on the mallet. So 10 and I'll get a slay. That's good. Fuck. So weak, man. I guess we just go here. And I don't even know how much worth it that was. Here, let's try to get this slay. That's good. Put you there for whatever reason. I guess I should have put it top. I don't know. Taking the 4 damage didn't seem super enticing to me. Alright, Hidden Passage doing alright this fight. Should I save that for the boss? I believe so. Really want to try to hit the boss, I think. But we're not going to redraw. Hitting for 5 here, I guess is okay. Because then I could kill with 10 on a imp, but... Okay, we do get the imp. Let's go... like this, I guess? Okay, that'll work. Alright, we get through it again. I thought we would take some damage there, but we didn't even take any damage. So we're doing alright so far. Ah, man, that's rough, though. I could probably take another Welderherper for now, but God, we really would have liked to see a Ritual or a Fledgling Imp here, obviously. It's either Perils or Skip here. The problem with Perils, I think like we've kind of determined here, like, I highly doubt we hit... Well, I mean, I don't have a good Hellvent currently, right? I don't actually have a good Hellvent at all. Like a Space Prism, maybe? Maybe I do hit this Merchant of Magic, I don't know. If I don't have a good Hellvent, this is basically like complete bullshit with the Umbra Banner. And the Vortex is the main thing we give up. If I'm willing to give Vortexes up already for maybe some of these, like... Probably makes sense to hit that Merchant Magic up. It's probably worth it. When I miss on all the rage is currently... Okay, wow, these are good. Well, 2 of them are good. Horn Warrior or Rail Beater? Probably Rail Beater. Kind of the fucked up thing here is like... I think Rail Beater makes sense. If I can get the floor wide enough... I don't have much gold, huh? Yeah, I guess for a minute I considered going to the steel and just taking this Rail Beater. But at 105 gold, probably not. Most likely I can't even afford what comes up, even if it is something I want, like an endless, really an endless or a multi-strike's about it. But the nice thing about the Rail Beater is if I currently don't really need Queen on the floor. I can just run Rail Beater. And if we go left, who knows, maybe we get a Steelworker. And it'll prep up melee weakness for the Branded Warrior. And I think that's pretty good. Alternatively, I could just take the Demon Fiend. I mean, if I start my Branded Warrior off with 30 extra damage. Most fights I would wreck with him, but I'm pretty sure Rail Beater is what I'm taking. I'm kind of adding at least like an extra 17-ish right now anyway. Alright, 30 power probably will go. I don't think I'm going to intrinsic the other Space Prism, but I think the 30 could go on the Mind Collapse. I do wonder though, like if it's a ×5 event versus the hammer event, is it worth doing the 30 now or waiting? It's kind of 50% chance of either one, right? If I get a ×5 though, would I have a good ×5 otherwise? Like, I could probably ×5 a Space Prism, ×1 it. Like a ×5 of Perils, that'd be weird, but like, kind of like holding it over in a way. So what else was it? Intrinsic? Let's see what's here. Not amazing. Probably would take the firebox. I don't know, it currently is kind of weird with an intrinsic Space Prism. It's very unlikely I can actually make use of the firebox. I would need to like intrinsic a Shroud Spike to really do anything in this combo for that. Alternatively, I guess I could do combo it with like an Unbroken Horn. It's probably just smarter for me to take the Precious Plating. Okay, well this is interesting. These are both great. The Horned Warrior into the Rail Beater is definitely something. It's just a lot less good without knowing if we're getting actual rage outside of this fucking Branded Warrior or not. Railhammer sure would have been nice, but I think I'm fine with this Chain of Gems still. I'm leaning towards Steelworker right now. Main problem is like I already got the... I can probably just dupe the Branded Warrior. If I'm not going to end up getting a good... like, Welder Hopper really isn't necessarily good enough. What I could do is put the Steelworker into the Branded Warrior and dupe it. I'm very likely to get slays at that point. I think that's definitely calling out to me. And I'll in case it's a ×5 event here, I'm going to go ahead and just do that right now. And let's hold on the 30. Did I call it or what? Fucking ×5 event. Okay, so do we want to ×5 it? That seems a little ridiculous. Like ×1, I think is acceptable. We get to basically get a free 15 shards and Hellvent by doing this. ×5 seems a little ridiculous. It's also not completely out of the question. But I think just once. And I can Hellvent like a hidden passage at this point. I guess we are overstacking with this build then. And we're already at 30. Is this worth it? Or we're at 50. Is this worth it? Battering Ram at this point might actually be okay in this build. God, if only we had Railhammer. I think this is worth. We're at a lot of shards right now is the only shitty thing. But I don't know. I think we're fine. We got some power here. All right, let's give you this. We're just gonna run these two and the Railman. I'm gonna go ahead and just throw you out and move you up, I guess. Let's eat these up. I think I would like to let us get these slays. This should be a floor here. Forgot I even had that. So often it was proccing. I don't think we need morsels every turn up here. Let's just get this thing going, and it can keep getting a bunch of stuff, and we're just going to absolutely wreck everything up here. Not even worth my clicks to play anything else here. We can start overstacking stuff, really. Alright, definitely I'm going to hell vent the hidden passage. This is looking okay. Here, why don't you go in front here? Let's do this. You're definitely dead. Alright, we got a floor going. Absolutely last stand here. I don't even think it's actually close. That pretty much should get us going. If we wanted, we could do Horn Warrior into Rail Beater, but I think it's not needed here. Like, I'd rather have my 10 extra health, and Rail Beater really is just a tank at this point. Like, I have all of the hits that I need at this point, and I almost don't even want Rail Beater getting kills. I really want to focus on these 4 hits being what get kills. I could take a Horn Warrior, though, just as a unit, but... So we'll remove Shadow Eater. I don't know. I think we're good. I don't think we need that. And definitely draw. We want to draw into hidden passages ASAP. We want to make sure that we get the Rail Beater in front if we can. Most of the time we can. Skip. Easy skip. And pretty easy hidden passage here. And do I take the gold? We're going... Are we going steel at this point? I don't even know that we are. I think we're going trinkets. So let's take the gold. First things first, we get rid of the Shadow Eater. And then... I can keep... I don't know that I need this Perils. The Battering Ram's actually okay. I think we can get rid of the Perils. It's just never really going to get played. And if I get holdover... I guess I don't have a good holdover target, so maybe I should keep it, but when am I hitting a... I guess I'm hitting a magic here. I don't think I'm hitting that steel. Could get rid of a steward for now. They're not really, with the chain of gems, they're not necessarily that much better than the imps. Okay. I think Shard Tail's really not going to do anything. It's fine. It's just often what you have to do with Hellhorn champs. I mean, much less so with Shard Tail compared to Hellhorn Prince, but it's why I've scaled back my view of her a little bit. Like, as much as I enjoy the champ, it is a throwaway in a lot of runs, realistically. So Spike's here is... I technically outpace it with my Steelworkers, but it's also 75 shards on some absolute bullshit here. This guy already has spikes anyway. It's not worth a random artifact to take that risk. It just isn't. Heuristically, it's just not a risk you need to take. We want the damage shield on that guy. And... fuck. 40 health, you know what? I can do that. I could have also probably just moved the Clip Defender up and... No, I couldn't have. I didn't have the energy to. So never mind. I was going to say I could move him up and imp him, but no, I couldn't have. It's better to have Queen here, because she's not surviving down here. But yeah, in this case, she can get that collector. And now we see how useless Mallet is. Already by ring 4, even if I hit the 25%, it's not killing anything. It is so hilariously useless. You know, we could just get you up. Why don't we do that? We could put this here for a future lift up, I guess. Son of a... No, that's gonna hurt. Alright, come on up. Oh shit. Well, that's probably a reason not to put Shard Tail on the fucking floor. I just realized that. Oh well. You win some, you lose some. Good we see it now versus later when it might have mattered more. Let's get you here so we actually have something that could eventually get moved up. Give ourselves an extra turn here. I think that's worth it. Actually, I'm kind of fucking dumb here, apparently. That's fine, though. We'll just do this. You're definitely not beating me up there. Here, you can fight us. It's fine. Alright, I mean, run's looking alright so far. I wonder if this is another case of, like, people just didn't go for the Branded Warrior when they should've. We'll find out. I mean, I'm probably getting ahead of myself. Inferno's a weird one here because it's not good at letting me slay stuff, but at the same time, come Divinity, I probably want it. The Enflame is alright. I wonder if I really need it, though, when I have Last Stand. I'm kind of leaning toward Inferno. We do have a problem, though, in either case. Like, these are all high energy things that I already have a Last Stand that wants to be reduced. We should probably take the Inferno when none of our stuff has quick. And realistically, I'm probably not doing much with Imperialist Queen. Gem Trove could be almost takeable, but again, I have so many damn things. Engine upgrade's alright. If I never end up with the Holdover Perils, we'll be happy for that. Alright, Restraint's not that bad here. There's the Broken Horn that we could have had with the Firebox. I probably should have just took the Firebox. Okay, -2 is amazing here. It could be Inferno, it could be Stand. Inferno we end up playing more, but Stand I think is what we put it on. There's just too much upside here. I can get Inferno down in other ways. We're pretty high on shards. I think we take this. It's just too good with letting us get that Last Stand value. Or helping us get that Last Stand value. I'm increasingly thinking that we really don't need this Perils. I think it's time to remove it. I really don't think we need the Stewards. Most of the time I'm not putting Shard Tail onto the floor, I think. I could re-roll here, or I could just settle for a Horn. Horn would be tough because it loses its value with the Mind Collapse. It also, like, I don't know that it does much here. It could, though. I think I'd rather re-roll. If I re-roll, I'm at 225. 225 probably doesn't afford most of what comes out. I mean, this Unbroken Horn is literally like the cheapest you could see. Could be worth re-rolling just to have information, though, on what we might be getting or not getting. I kind of want to hold gold. Maybe I just don't do anything here. I'm kind of leaning toward just not doing anything here. And I don't need to purge any of my spells. I mean, if I'm going to... I don't know which way I'm going here, either. We'll see. So it's not Stealth Boss. Giving the enemy multi-strike is... at 90 shards, again, just not worth a random artifact. Sorry to say it. Okay, we're gonna go mid with Queen because we do wanna give you damage shield, and I do want to get you in. I'll go here. I will take one of you out, but we really want to take this wave out, especially, you know, not getting that is a little rough. So at 32 lost, we're better off putting this in front. Or I could give this damage shield and get the slay here. It'd be kind of weird to sandwich them though, right? But we'll get enough slays, I think, hopefully. That's the only thing we need to worry about. Now we just need to let ourselves get slays. We're a little weak here. It's no big deal though. We're gonna go here. We still get to slay. I could have been a little more greedy there, but I didn't really want to. So 12 to 20. We still want to try to slay those things down there. Yeah, we're going to get quite a lot of rage there. I think we just let these things through. I don't want to kill the things in the back, I don't think. 14. I may have to. I don't know. I think we're going to try not to. I don't know. We also... Wow, Infused Mallet, you're so good. Thanks for giving this guy times 14 damage. Or 14 more damage. That's really cool of you to do. You're so good. Fucking moron. I don't think we Inferno the bottom. I'd rather just get this guy up. Get him more rage. Make him a rat in a cage. And more armor and all that good stuff. Let's move you up. We'll never like, even in a run where Battering Ram could be useful, it refuses to be useful. I bet you we won't redraw it. Did I call it or what? Oh, whatever, we win. Now I'll take an Enflame. Is a Void Binding worth it at this point? Almost certainly not. That's a skip. So we can go either way here. I mean, I just don't really have anything at this Merchant of Steel. I mean, I have 420, by the way, nice. I think we still go to the right. We definitely don't want any stewards anymore. Double stack. Interesting. This is interesting. It's definitely not shit coals, but Forever Flame and Pyrostone Housing. This is a run where Pyrostone Housing could make sense. We might want another upgrade on the Warrior. We do technically have one hittable steel here. I mean, it's more than hittable. Now I wish we went left, but whatever. I think for sure it's just Pyrostone Housing here. We can definitely cash in on that later. I could double stack this. I'm actually open to that, and instead of holding out for better, I'm just going to keep it like that. I think this is fine. It's a potential, you know. I do wonder if I want one more of these branded warriors. That's one thing I'm kind of wondering about, but we'll see. We should reroll for at least a cost reduction. We don't want shit frost. I think we want the cost reduction on Inferno. I would have concern removed last stand in a fart beat too, but not here. Let's still not remove with money because I just don't have that many removals I need to make. It sounds weird with this big of a deck, but maybe I should pay for some removals there. I really don't need the shade splitters, I guess, at this point. I really should just get rid of them. We have the option... Nah. I was gonna maybe put Queen on the floor, but it's a little just too weird. Because I do want to get, obviously, a branded warrior in. We would have gotten away with it here with the passage. We still could. Do we think the body of Shardtail Queen is worth not being able to overstack imps? It's already a little awkward to get imps up there with the situation we're dealing with here. You know, I think we're just gonna do that. I am not getting kills, which sucks. Let's do this here. I lied. Let's do this. I should have given it myself armor there. Oops. Call it a force of habit, I guess. I'm not going to get greedy with the last stand. I don't think I really need to play anything more, to be honest. But let's go ahead and just soften them up a bit. Soften them up quite a bit, I guess. Let's give you some rage. I don't want that thing to die. Let's just do that then. I mean, if we're killing him, just give this guy a ton of armor, sure. Spell shield. And rage on the backmost one. Guess we'll give ourselves a thing. That is all she wrote. Probably should have actually given the rage to the one directly behind the rail beater, but that's fine. Alright, I am going to be right back. Ooh, Umberstone. Transcend him, though. Alright, are we back live? Okay. So, it's obviously not shit consumed here. Useless card as it is. We got two of the best rares in the game, Umberstone and Transcendent. Pick your non-poison. So the Transcendent really has a 50-50 of carrying the run. It would be, obviously, that we just find the 50-50 at Endless here, and then we Hellvent it. Then we're good to go. I will say this, though. Aside from the Inferno, I guess technically, well, we got it. We got an Imperialist Queen. I was gonna say we don't necessarily have the greatest ways to sack it, but with an Imperialist Queen we do. We also did. We passed up a Forever Flame though, so like Ember could be an issue. Like as free as a win as it usually is, you usually want a little bit something more than just two of them on Endless. You usually want like something like maybe Imp Parade to reduce the Ember cost. Maybe something more in terms of being able to sack your imps. At the same time, an Umberstone in this deck, I don't know that it is gigantically useful to me. You know, we're probably looking at maybe a third Branded Warrior, and any one of them isn't really necessarily gigantic. So the trample's just kind of okay. It's like adding maybe one more strike worth of value. Which is good, but it's not like a gigantic difference maker, but it's definitely worth taking. Whereas like the Transcendent could just win me the run and make me not have to worry about anything. It also 50% of the time is relatively a dud here, to be honest. I mean, it's really not doing anything other than giving maybe a bunch of armor to itself, which isn't that useful. I don't know if Scorching Restraints counts as a summon. You think I'd have these things memorized? I don't think it does. However, if it did, that could give more reason to take a Transcendent just to be a unit on the floor. It would have a lot of rage, potentially. So, I don't know. I think kind of going back to like expected value versus... I don't think he'd be wrong to take a Transcendent here ever, but I do kind of lean toward Umberstone here as just giving me guaranteed value. Also, we know for sure, at least in Ring 7, this Transcendent will not get us value. I think the Umberstone is probably just the safe pick here. And I could probably start to make an argument for Ember with this deck, especially since we're not hitting up any more Merchant of Magics. Because I'm probably just going to Hellvent the Enflame. There's also another Vortex, so I almost don't need the draw if my deck's going to be this much more thin. Yeah, I think I see a decent argument for Ember. And let's just thin the deck out. I think maybe I could spend most of my gold on thinning the deck out, really. Take a look here. Pierce, Power... not needed. Let's take a look here. Ooh. Interesting. I mean, this could be a manual. 1/3 of the time it would just mean I don't have to worry about the overstacking. I don't know that the Rail Forger's Hammer changes a whole lot here. I already have the Intrinsic Space Prism, which gives me 6 pip, which already fits me the 3 units. If I'm adding another Branded Warrior, a single pip doesn't change much until I find the other Space Prism or just a overstack, whereas the manual is the one that gives me a chance to just, if it hits top floor, I don't even have to worry about overstacking, right? So I think this is one of those rare cases where manual wins. Do I Hellvent the Branded Warrior now? I may as well wait until we hit the Merchant of Steel here, I think. And then we could just either do Enflame for no shards or Last Stand for 10. Last stand for 10. And I don't think we're taking any of that. And let's just keep removing Shade Splitters at this point. They're probably definitely the weakest thing. They're just not really going to get us any value. We do eventually get Imp Parade here, it looks like. But at this point, just take the higher health. Spell Shield's free here. There's absolutely zero. Like, a Mind Collapse. A single Mind Collapse is the only thing here. So we'll still, since Manual didn't hit up here, I believe we should clear this. Give you this. I know I don't get to get the thing here. This floor I don't think we should clear. We should just let her die. Could last stand here. I got another one on the way. It's either... because I can't hit that on anything. It's just last stand. Yeah, we're good here. Could get a trample here. I wouldn't... I was gonna say I wouldn't mind infernoing this, but even with my Ember upgrade here, I'm just a little bit fucked. We might be losing you-know-who here. Well... it's living armor, so I'm not that worried. Yeah. Go ahead and die. See if I care. Rubber Morsel Master. I think definitely Umberstone was the right call. You saw it there. I don't know how the math worked out, but I think we would have leaked. We're definitely fine to do this. Battering Ram doing what Battering Ram do. I mean, I guess with a Spell Shield it wouldn't have mattered. A useless fucking card. I'm removing that, actually. I don't even want it to have the satisfaction of thinking it could do something in a run. It's my imp in a box. Let's take an Enflame. This looks like the biggest skip I've ever seen in my life. Useless stuff. I guess we could pierce the battering ram, but that's funny that it thinks it would get that, because guess what? It's just not. This is actually one of the best collection of tails I've ever seen. Given how our deck functions, of course the Lightstone casing is there, why wouldn't it be? Okay, well, the immediate punish for not doing the Transcendent route. You know what? It's fine. I'm not gonna... I could probably still Endless a Welderhopper to try to get value. I mean, honestly, come Divinity could be an okay play to make. I don't really need to... I don't know. It's a tough one. I think we're definitely taking one more Brain of Warrior. Let's see what's coming here. Lost Luggage is alright. The rest are trash. I think Lost Luggage is alright. We'll take it. I think I just want to remove stuff. I don't care about endless. Additional multi-strike on one of these then. And we'll just do a battle stone there for health. We'll see how far this gets us. Bye-bye battering ram. Bye-bye shade splitters. And I guess we'll just put this on that one then. And the hell vent goes to the one with the extra strike. And additional removals go to the remaining shade splitters. And we should be good to go. Should be a W. I'm not going to go for the 150. I don't really care. I don't think blank pages is even worth... As the blank pages guy, I don't think it's ever actually worth pushing for 150 or whatever for him. Doesn't really... I will say, we're going to have actually maybe a little bit of a rough time sussing out Chased. I literally just thought of that now. So far Manual's been a complete fucking fail every single time it's been bottom floor. If I can keep both floors alive, that would be good. It already looks like that's not really a possibility. We have to save these last stands. Let's do this. Should hopefully... We have a lot of hidden passages. Oh no, we only have one. Okay, I fucked that up a bit, but that's okay. We can survive this. Let's go like that. Keep you alive. Give you some rage. Take you out. Give you some. Just want to keep these floors going here. Let's bring you up. We're going to be Ember Drained to fuck here, but what are you going to do? Let's do that. Well, we're already out of Ember here, so why don't we bring... I want to keep these guys alive, I suppose, and I should keep trying to get Queen's Chain of Gems value. Yeah. I actually have an Ember here. Do I want to lose this Rail Beater? Not really. How are we so fucking weak? We're gonna have to use one of these here. I can't afford to take all of that damage. Fucking 50 damage there, though. God, Chased sucks when it sucks, huh? Like, it really sucks to face Chase when it do. Jesus motherfucking Christ. Let's give you that. Oh, I fucking hate Chase, dude. Really fucking hate Chased. Alright, we have one last stand. I think we can do this here. I should be guaranteed to redraw, I think. Fuck, I have to use it here, huh? I want to do this instead then. Kind of regretting not taking the Transcendent, but I really hope we don't lose this. That. We got a lot of armor, I just don't have a whole lot of damage. Okay, we got it. I was honestly getting pretty fucking worried there. Thank God for the Steelworker infusion. Well, that fight sucked. I can't imagine that Divinity is harder than that. There's some fights, like Chaste is fine 80% of the time, but fights like that, like any fight where you have to rely on I guess, thank God we had Enflames, that's all I have to say. Alright, we definitely want you to have this. So manual is just 0 out of fucking 0 here. I hate fucking manual. I'm never taking it again. I would have been much better off just taking the other thing. Lesson learned. Lesson fucking learned. Of course it's the worst. Put you here. You there. This here. I'd blow that for that, I think, and then we'll do that. I think I'd probably rather just get this up there. And we could break some damage shield here. I think that's worth. Alright, we'll give the Umbra Stone to the guy that has the more damage. And I don't think I'm going to greed here. I'm just going to do that. If I can kill that. Should have put it in front. Whatever. We're gonna lose Rail Beater. But I think that's fine. We're gonna do that. Of course we get that one. Let's do this. Motherfuckers love their spell shield. May want to bring that guy up. I'm trying to think. Yeah, let's do that. Maybe I should have actually saved an imp there. Now that I think about it. Yeah, we definitely don't want to lose that guy. Let's save those imps. I'll bring you up. And now this imp getting armor is great for us. I still save it, I think, because it's possible these could go down. Could have maybe thought about displacing a unit, but we'll have time for that, I suppose. Jeez, are you fucking kidding me? I may want to just take 25 here, rather than lose this. Maybe I want to take 50, rather than lose it. I really don't want to lose this guy. And let's just do that. I'm really just focused on not dying at this point. We're gonna be Ember Drained to fuck here. But I can save some here. Definitely we want to take that out, but we can take that out pretty easily. So let's actually give this guy this guy's the main focus still, I think. We'll take you out like that. You guys out like that. That should be a win. Nothing's going to leak at this point. And I can even block basically all of that. Alright, well, definitely... Oh, I got a flying kill. Nice. Didn't even notice that. But yeah, 51 damage taken. Not great. But we could have probably took less if I wanted the Branded Warrior to die. I just didn't want to deal with that. I knew that nothing's going to leak if I don't want it to. But losing the Branded Warrior, I would lose 5 additional armor per turn. I would lose that body. Like, I didn't want to... I mean, 45 is still pretty low. It's because we did so bad in those final fights. But yeah, I mean, that was a run. Branded Warrior carried it, of course, with the Steelworker Infusion. Railbeater played the support and tank role. Like I've talked about that before. It's like, yeah, you'd love to make it be the carry, but sometimes it just doesn't fill that role, and it still provides good value. Enflame, just kind of showing that it's an okay card. Not the ideal one, like it's definitely no ritual, it's no fledgling, but it's a card. Inferno was there when we needed it, Last Stand was there when we needed it. We had the mediocre Rage Relics, which did their job, I guess. It's just kind of a lower roll run, but kind of also just showing that Hellhorn is a great clan, right? Even when you get basically none of the good stuff, you know, we never found Ritual, we never found Fledgling Imp. We had to basically use a Branded Warrior. We did find technically good units later on, like Railbeater and Horn Warrior, but by that time it just didn't make sense to lean into them. We already had multi-strike and health and Branded Warrior, and we didn't have even an Enflame at that point. But yeah, we found Last Stand at least. Last Stand is a very good card. But we never once were able to get the ceiling of it. We were basically using it as makeshift ritual, to be honest. Honestly, it was about as valuable as a Fledgling Imp would have been. We're usually getting 7 rage or so from it. Sometimes we got more. But even for that, it's good. Let's check what everybody else did. Okay, Abel got the Branded Warrior. They have Morsel Maker Infusion. I think it's definitely okay. I think I would prefer a Steelworker still. You're getting more. You're getting some additional offense from the thing there, but what am I trying to say? I think the offense just isn't that needed. Whereas you'd get a lot more defense to the floor. You know, instead of getting 6 to each of these, you'd be getting 15 to each of them with a Steelworker Infusion. But certainly the damage could help. They do end up with an endless self-infused Welder Helper. Should be okay. I will say, had I done endless on the Welder Helper, it might have allowed me to have a better divinity fight. I don't know that it would have helped me much, though, against Chaste. Mind Collapse with Pierce is... I don't know. I actually think without an accompanying 10 on top of it, or 30, it's just not a good enough break point there. I think I'd almost rather have the 30 without the Pierce versus Pierce without anything else. 6 intrinsic space prisms. That is interesting. Okay, now I'm starting to see it. Now I'm starting to see... Now that I've seen that, I'm starting to see what the plan here was with the Endless Welder Helper. Shunt block that every turn. You clear everything out. Does mean you'll get less slays, but who cares at that point? At that point, it does makes sense to take Morsel Maker over Steelworker. So I take back what I said. Given that this deck starts out with gigantic space, you probably just want, yeah, the actual offense, because you're going to be fine on defense. You're getting already an additional 10 to the floor every turn, and you're clearing out the back line every turn. Surprised I didn't take Divine Horde though. I feel like even with as bad as a deck as we had, we still got through with 40 HP, right? So like, I'm always pretty adamant about the strength of Imperialist or even Imp Parade, Ring 1, Shard Tail Queen. It's a big reason of why I like the champ. It's like, I just am of the mind that you can basically take any trial and any horde, even if you low rolled into a horde that got you nothing, I just don't think you ever lose if you play it right. I like the Enflame. That's a really good Enflame. I would have probably even Hellvented it. I like the Stone. I like the Last Stands. I mean, I like this deck. It's somewhat similar to mine. Probably would have removed the Perils. And the Battering Ram, even with all this armor. Without the Pierce, it just never hits anything. But yeah, I mean, it still has a lot of the same issues that we have with Chased, right? I think it has a easier Divinity. They're a little more defensive focused, though. So they're not getting the flying kill is really the only difference there. But I would imagine Abel might have just had a much better time with the last two fights than I had. This is the submitter. Oh, interesting. There was a blood for blood. I mean, in the context of this run, Railhammer definitely would have ended up really nice for us. That's iffy. I would just, at that point, I don't know that I like Hornwire and the Branded Warrior. There's also no Steelworker that I can see, which is a little bit strange, I think. I mean, I guess you have the Endless Welder Helpers, but this is so risky. Welder Helper is not a priority draw. I guess you times 5'd it, so you can be pretty confident. It's only one Branded Warrior, too. Yeah, I don't know that I like this. I would just... If you're that wanting of... This would make a lot more sense if you're running a Ritual, I think. I guess this is a lot different. This is much different than Abel. Abel and I have a pretty similar thing, but his is a... Captain Caps Lock has a lot different here. He's got a Holdover Perils. He's got Void Binding. He's going really all in on one unit here instead of a wide floor. I think when you start with the Space Prisms and just everything that came up, I think I would just go wide. I wouldn't go tall. Especially because this Void Binding wasn't really found till later on. This starts to make a little more sense to go tall when you get all this, but I think you run quite a risk. You know, Branded Warrior's Slay benefits a wide floor more. And also, you know, instead of taking the risk, you're basically nullifying your slot of health here by making it fragile. You're also making it super risky with the turn 1 to 2, depending on how things go. And it's like, if you're that wanting of an extra strike, I'd say just get 2 of these units, right? Get 2 of them, you get 2 extra strikes instead of 1 extra strike. You don't have the downside of the fragile, or alternatively, if you wanted to go tall, I would just take the Horned Warrior and put the Branded, even though Branded Warrior already had multi-strike on it. I think I would just pivot to using the Horned Warrior and put the Branded Warrior infusion into the Horned Warrior. That way you can just, you already have your multi-strike anyway. You could large stone it, you could find another multi-strike, find more health. You can basically just... And then you can Hellvent that unit. But honestly, I think just Hellvent the Branded Warrior. There's an early enough Hellvent. You have these Space Prisms, like... You already have Welder Helper on Endless. So you can get the defensive wide benefit. You're getting more benefit the more units you put onto the floor, right? But I think we all run into similar problems. But I think this deck probably had an easier time against Chase, if I were to guess, just because they have a lot more ability to spike their rage or refill their rage consistently. I think this deck has over Able in my decks. So I will say I think Caps Lock probably had an easier time with Chased, but their Divinity fight in particular, I have to imagine was tough. With only the one branded warrior. But I don't know. I guess if you get these void bindings at the right times, this could be pretty smooth. It really just depends. But yeah, that's a fun one to get back into it with. There's another Cursed Seed in there. I'll probably do that one maybe today or later. I don't know. As always, thanks for watching. Until next time, peace.